Okay, what things do not motivate entrepreneurs? Because as an entrepreneur, I'm a pretty motivated guy. We're all motivated, but there are some things that most people are motivated by. We're not motivated by those things at all. All right, I've got a whole list of things to tell you that does not motivate an entrepreneur at all. So if you know an entrepreneur, or if you're an entrepreneur and you'd like to better know yourself and see if I'm right, then listen as I list off thing after thing after thing that usually motivate people, but for entrepreneurs, they don't motivate us at all. Okay, one of the first things that I want to start off with might ruffle some feathers because I'm very opinionated about this, okay? So entrepreneurs are not motivated by entitlement. Okay, in fact, it's the exact opposite. And there are a lot of people that are kind of convinced that we are entitled to things that really have a hard time understanding the entrepreneurial mindset. And sometimes we butt heads on this. So let me just give you an example, and I might ruffle some feathers, okay? Somebody might say, you know, I've got a bachelor's degree and I've got 7 years of experience. Therefore, I deserve to make this much money. See, that's entitlement. Or somebody goes to their boss, you know what, I've been working really, really hard and I deserve a pay raise. You know what, I deserve some time off. You know what, I'm entitled to that promotion. I've been working really, really hard. I'm entitled to that. You know, I'm entitled to Social Security. I've been working so long for so many years. I'm entitled to that Social Security. So we could go on, but I don't like it. I don't like entitlement at all. Anytime I hear people that are talking that have a hint or they have a tone like they deserve something or that they're not being treated fairly, it's just like, I just want to leave. I want to run. I want to get away. Okay, we should probably move on. Sometimes entrepreneurs would love a secure paycheck. But you know what? We turn that aside. We want something more. It comes at too high of a cost. So if I take on a job, yeah, I've got a secure paycheck, but I give up everything else that's so much more important to me. So a secure paycheck doesn't motivate me. The absence of a secure paycheck is, I think, what keeps most people away from being an entrepreneur, right? It's kind of like this filter. If you don't have the stomach to give that up, then you should not be an entrepreneur. Now let's talk about a 401k. Entrepreneurs are not motivated by 401ks whatsoever. They are an entitlement trap that employers can use, that employees feel like they're getting a bonus, they're getting more money. A 401k really isn't that great. I used to be an investment advisor rep and I learned all about qualified plans, and guess what? I don't have any of them. Now in this video, I'm obviously just sharing my opinion. I am an entrepreneur and I'm sharing my opinion of what doesn't motivate me and what I believe other entrepreneurs are not motivated by either. 401ks, I've never seen an entrepreneur that is motivated by a 401k. We want to be in control of our money. We want to be in control of our investments. We want to have access to it. We don't want to lock it away and get some match or get some tax deferral, because we have to pay taxes on that anyway, and now we can't touch it until we're like 59 and a half or 65 or whatever the law is. Entrepreneurs don't like giving up that control. Many companies offer health insurance as an incentive to work for them, but for entrepreneurs, that incentive just isn't enough. There are options. What I use is actually not health insurance. I had to think for a minute about what it's called. It's called a health share. So it's a collective group that all pulls their money together, kind of like paying insurance premiums. And when you're sick, like recently when I had to go to the hospital to have a surgery to repair my clavicle, I crashed while mountain biking. It was paid out as if it were insurance that covered that. So I was covered, my health was covered, my medical expenses are covered. As an entrepreneur, if I had to pay for insurance like employers do, it would actually be way more expensive. That's my experience. When you walk away from a job, you're walking away from those benefits, and entrepreneurs do it intentionally. Entrepreneurs are not motivated by incremental pay raises, right? Okay, now we're making 10, 20 an hour. Wow, you are so valuable to this company. We're going to give you a pay raise to $10.40 an hour. And if you stay here long enough, maybe after 10 years, you'll be up to 11 or 12 or 13. You see, incremental pay raises are just not fun. They're not exciting to me. I want exponential pay raises. So if you're making $10 an hour, could you imagine saying, you know what, boss? I would like a pay raise of $20 an hour. That sounds insane, right? But that's what entrepreneurs want. That's what entrepreneurs expect. And if you stick with it, that is what entrepreneurs experience. So let me tie it into another thing that entrepreneurs are not motivated by. Okay, when we get pay raises, sometimes that comes with a promotion. And there's this ladder that we can work our way up, to become the CEO. Eventually, I want to be the CEO, or eventually, I want to be the president of this company. See, that doesn't motivate an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is like, you know what? I'm going to take charge of my life now. I want to put my ideas into it. I want to be in charge of this. I'm going to step outside of this job. I'm going to create my own company. I'm going to be the CEO now. So instead of being placed inside this box, right, and saying, all right, this is my role, this is how I fit in with this company, and the boss dictates that, and then if I do well here, then I can get a pay raise, and maybe I get a promotion. So now I'm over in this box, and just playing that game, playing the politics of earning those promotions, earning those raises, and working the way up the corporate ladder, I want nothing to do with that. I might ruffle some feathers with this one, okay? True entrepreneurs are not at all motivated by retirement. Okay, so let me just talk about what is retirement, because that seems like such an exciting thing. Imagine the day when we have enough money saved, we don't have to work, we can retire. Well, that's because for 40 years of your life, right, we'll say 25 to 65, those 40 years of your life, you're working in a job that you hate. You don't like it. You don't like to go there. You spend 8 hours a day there working with people that you don't choose. You didn't choose your boss, but he's just the one that pays you. You don't actually like your boss at all. Monday mornings come around, you don't want to get out of bed. You're like, oh, it's Monday. You're so excited when it's Friday, you're ready for the weekend. So retirement means I'm so done with that. And I've got enough money, I don't have to work anymore, I get to retire. See, that's not what life and work is like for me. As an entrepreneur, I get to choose what I do. The work that I do, I love doing. It's so much fun. I get to choose who I hang out with. I get to choose my clients. If there's a day that I don't want to work, I don't work. I really get to control my time, and because I love what I do, why would I want to stop? I mean, if it gets too much, I can just pull it back. Now, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of challenges and risks even to entrepreneurship. That's a topic for another episode. But for somebody that is entrepreneurial minded, retirement, that just seems so foreign. I don't want to retire. It's like, what? I don't get to contribute to the world anymore. When I turn 65, I no longer have any value and I'm just going to retire. All right. I have a degree. I'd got a degree in human biology. I thought that I needed it so I could get into dental school and become a dentist. Well, I changed my mind and I became an entrepreneur. I learned about what it's like to be a business owner, or the difference actually between being self-employed and a business owner, and I just ate it up. I've really embraced entrepreneurship. And as I've looked back, I look at that degree and it's like, that doesn't really help me at all. Now, I love education, I love learning, but entrepreneurs aren't motivated by getting degrees or by getting their doctorate or by getting another degree. A lot of people in the academic world want to go out and get their PhD or get another degree or get another certificate. Or in a lot of professional spaces, it's like, ooh, if I get that certification, I'm going to attract way more clients, I'm going to make way more money. See, me, even when I'm hiring people, I don't really look at what degree they have. I look at what experience they have. What do they know how to do? What have they already done? What have they already created? See, a degree is not even practice. A degree is just academic. It's books for the most part, right? There are some activities that you can do, and I'm not saying I don't value my education, but that certificate, that degree, that diploma, maybe it says something about persistence, that I've got commitment, right? There were some classes that I really didn't like, but I stuck with them and I finished and I got the degree. So it's a big accomplishment, right? It's like getting a medal at the end of running a marathon. But that medal from the marathon, it doesn't really help me be a better business owner, a better entrepreneur. So that's why certificates or degrees or promotions, that really doesn't motivate an entrepreneur. So on this line, on the flip side, what does motivate an entrepreneur? Well, we love learning, we love education, and we love applying it. We like getting out and testing it and tweaking it and seeing if it works. We don't want to study something for 4 years and then go try it. When we learn something new, we want to try it right now and see if it works. We want to apply it to our situation. We want to use it in the real world. Entrepreneurs are not motivated by following the crowd. Okay, we'd rather just try something completely different. A quote that I heard in a Tim Ferriss book that has stuck with me for many, many years, and he's quoting Mark Twain. He says, when you find yourself on the side of majority, it's time to pause and reflect. Something might be wrong if you're following the crowd. The entrepreneurial side of me kind of gets crazy when I think about doing things the way that they've always been done. I love to innovate. I love to improve. I'm always looking for a way to make things more efficient and to work better. So when I see a cement wall, I'm thinking, how can I use this to make a cool shot for my video? If everyone's filming in a living room, then try something else. Film against a cement wall. Film in your garage. If everyone's filming against the cement or in the garage, try filming in a park. Try filming in your living room. Try filming in your kitchen. Let's tie this back into business and entrepreneurship. When I started my company 11 years ago, I actually offered web design, but I was very unusual. I did things differently than any other website company that I found. I studied a lot of my competition, and I found that all of them were totally different. I saw more efficient ways of doing things, but I also saw, you know what? What if we take it from a design perspective? We don't even need to hire any programmers. I'm not a programmer. Back then, this was unheard of. I had discovered WordPress and Joomla, and I thought, you know what? What if we create an online brochure that's visually appealing, it's easy to use? There were so many tools that we could use to add onto the website that we didn't need custom programming. If you wanted to embed a video, just use a YouTube video. If you wanted a shopping cart, you could get a separate service for a shopping cart and embed that on the website. It just made so much sense to me, and I attribute that to the entrepreneurial drive inside of me to innovate and create. Just to do things the same way drives us crazy. Okay, so before I leave the bunker, let me know, comment below, do you like videos shot in here? Okay, something else that doesn't motivate entrepreneurs at all is running the system. Okay, we like to create the system and have other people run it. So picture this big machine. We like to create the machine and decide where the gears go and how it all fits together and map it out. We like to create. Being just one gear and just doing that same job over and over and over and over and over and over and over, it drives entrepreneurs crazy. We don't mean to be judgmental of that. It's just something that we can't comprehend. There are other people that love that role. They love not having the responsibility or the burden. They just want to get in there and do the work. They're okay to just be that gear that just does the same task over and over and over and over because it provides that paycheck, and then they get to live the rest of their life. And like when they go home from work, they can leave work there. Whereas entrepreneurs, we have a harder time doing that. We take the work home with us, but it's what we dream about. It's what we are passionate about. We think about it all the time because we see the whole picture. We do carry that whole responsibility. We want to create the whole system, not just be one gear in the machine. I can tell you one thing that does definitely not motivate an entrepreneur, and that is having a boss. I can tell you it's been about 11 years since I had a job or I had a boss. For me, because I love creating and innovating and going directions and making decisions myself, it's actually been pretty hard to even have a business partner. There's just something about the creation, like this creative process of being able to try something and part of it working, part of it not working, so making a pivot and really just being able to chart my own course, that I don't want somebody standing over my shoulder approving it or not. Every time I try something, it's either going to work or it's not going to work. And if it doesn't work, then you know that doesn't work and you can try something else and you learn from it. That's why I love entrepreneurship so much. It's like this course in personal development. I mean, I've learned more as an entrepreneur than I did through my schooling or college education. But I guess we're talking about a boss. I mean, think about it. If you could go to school but you got to pick what you studied. Instead of a teacher telling you, okay, these things are what's important, and this is what I'm going to ask you on the test, and so you need to learn this, which, man, I'm so glad that's not a part of my life anymore. When I learn something, I choose. I'm listening to the audiobook that I bought, that I chose to listen to, and if I don't like it, guess what? I delete it and I go to the next one. When I really want to figure something out, when I want to learn it, I obviously use YouTube. I watch YouTube tutorials, and I watch as much of it as I need to until I can, pull out the camera or whatever I'm trying to figure out, and I can just try it and see if it works. And if it doesn't work, and I'm like, I might go back and watch the tutorial. I get to learn at my pace. You know what else? If I just want to take a nap, I can take a nap. Okay, if you've got the entrepreneurial bug like I do, I've got a gift for you that you're going to find extremely valuable. It's the Influencer Almanac. I've put together in one place all my strategies and systems that help me succeed as an entrepreneur, that help me succeed on YouTube. It's called the Influencer Almanac, and if you click the link below, you can get access to that for free.